Hey, my friend, welcome back to another episode of the Soul Podcasting Podcast, the place where clarity, purpose, and grounded strategy meet so that you can grow your show without exhausting yourself. I'm Demetria, founder of the Soul Podcasting Collective, where we support podcasters with editing, production, coaching, and all the behind-the-scenes help that you need to stay consistent and confident. If you ever want to reach me directly, hop over to soulpodcasting.com. You'll see a pink voice note tab on the right side of the screen. Send me a message anytime. I love hearing who's on the other side of the mic. And before we get into today's topic, let me just mention this. This is one of my shorter, quicker episodes. Every so often, I like to bring you these concise, laser-focused conversations for those of you who want something you can listen to while making your coffee or running a quick errand or just taking a breath between tasks. They're short, sweet, and powerful, and today's one of those. So, on a personal note, just how are you doing? I would love to hear from you. You do have my contacts, so you can reach out to me anytime. I do love hearing from you personally. You know, this season has a way of testing our balance. Right now, I'm recording this in the month of December. And so this is that time of the year where my balance is being tested out personally, professionally, and creatively. I'm having to figure out how things are going to actually work in my life for the upcoming year. So when I talk to podcasters, I hear the same things again and again. Like, I feel so behind, or I feel like I should be further along. Everyone else seems to be growing faster than me. I'm not doing enough, that kind of thing. So honestly, these thoughts really come from just believing things about podcasting that just are not true. They're assumptions that get repeated often enough that people start treating them as facts. So today, I want to cut through that noise and talk about 3 big myths, or we're going to call them misconceptions, that keep podcasters stuck, overwhelmed, or overworked. So we're going to jump into myth number 1. You need fancy gear before you start. This one right here stops more people than anything else, and the story often goes like this. So you need a high-end mic, you need a studio, you need acoustic panels, mixers, boom arms, and a full production setup. Okay, here's the truth. You absolutely do not need all of those things. Gear is fun, but gear is not the foundation of a great podcast. Your message is, your intention is, your clarity is, the connection you build with your audience is. Now, I have clients who've launched with a $30 mic in a quiet corner of their home, and their episodes were more heartfelt and more engaging and even more transformative than maybe someone who was broadcasting from a $2,000 setup with no vision. And I'm going to tell you what, your audience will forgive you for imperfect audio. We don't want your audio to be horrible, but they will forgive you. But they're not going to forgive you for a confused message. And I'm going to tell you something else. You can and will upgrade naturally over time, and you'll upgrade better when you do it from experience instead of insecurity. So start with what you have. Build your voice, grow your confidence, and that equipment, it's going to come when it's actually needed. Okay, so that is number 1. Myth number 2, you have to be everywhere to grow. No, I'm going to say that again. No, you do not need to be everywhere. If you haven't already caught my last episode, number 89, I talk a lot about not having to be everywhere and actually sort of cutting to the chase and being only on those places that are necessary for you. Showing up on 7 different platforms every single week is the quickest way to burn out and to disappear. Busy doesn't equal strategic. The industry is going to scream at you, post on Instagram every single day, 3 times a day, or turn every episode into TikTok, start a YouTube channel, repurpose everything into threads and reels and shorts and carousels and all of these things. And if you did all of that, when would you actually have time to record your podcast? And I'm speaking to those of you who don't have a team, who are solopreneurs, who are doing a lot of this podcasting growth and business growth on your own. Growth doesn't come from being everywhere. It comes from being intentional somewhere. Choose one platform where your people genuinely hang out and show up there with clarity, show up there with consistency, and stop scattering your energy everywhere. And the magic is that when you stop trying to keep up with everything, your creativity comes back to you. Your ideas are going to get sharper, your voice gets stronger, and you stop performing and you start connecting. And that's what builds an audience, not this chaos and this being in a constant pressure cooker, not chasing algorithms, but just being present. And myth number 3, my friend, is that your download numbers define your success. And we're going to go ahead and dismantle that one completely. Downloads are only data. Now, download data is good, but data is just that. It's data and it's not your destiny, okay? They give you information, they help you analyze, but they do not determine your value or the value of your podcast. Now, some of the most powerful shows that I've seen and that I've been a part of or have created myself didn't have large audiences, but they did have loyal ones. And they had deeply connected audiences and people that respond to them. So if you have, let's say, 115 listeners who show up every single week, that is a room full of people choosing to hear from you. That's not small, my friend, that is impact. And meaningful growth always comes from depth, not vanity metrics. Depth is what builds loyalty, and loyalty builds longevity, and then longevity builds momentum. A huge spike in downloads means nothing if the next week no one remembers your name. Okay? A small but devoted community is a foundation that you can build on for years. So honestly, I'm going to ask you not to measure your worth through your numbers. We are going to work on those numbers and getting those numbers increased for you if you're working with me as your podcast coach. But I don't want you to build your podcast on the idea of your metrics having to look a certain way every single week. You're going to measure through resonance. You're going to measure through the transformation that you offer and through the steady consistency that you show up with. So what I want you to do this week, and these are some practical and simple steps. There's only 3 of them. And the first is to record with the gear that you already have and be happy with it. Be happy with your equipment. If you're not, then get what you need. You know, there are some very easy ways to make sure that you have all the equipment that you need to build a basic studio. But don't let equipment be the barrier. Pick up the microphone that you currently own, or your phone even, and hit record. You can even do some practice sessions. My second tip for you is to pick one platform and commit to that one. Not all of the platforms, right? You may want to send out a notification on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all the things. But if you pick one platform that you really want to lean into, it's going to help you to really focus on how to bring the best value to that platform. So just one. The one that your audience loves the most and the one that you actually enjoy using. With time, you can always expand that to several platforms. And it doesn't mean that you can't share to all of them. It just means that you want to focus on the one that you spend the most of your time hanging out at. Thirdly, you want to redefine success. Ask yourself, did I speak clearly on my show today? Did I connect with my people? Did I show up with heart? Did I enjoy creating this episode? And if yes, then you're moving forward exactly as you should. So my friend, the pressure that you've been feeling, please release it and let it go. Podcasting is not about sprinting. It's about building something rooted, steady, and meaningful. Something that reflects who you are and how you want to show up in the world. So before you go, I want you to check out my latest YouTube video this week. It's called The Podcast Launch Strategy That Actually Works. And if you're thinking about launching or relaunching or rebooting and just getting your strategy, your approach refined, this video is going to give you the clarity that you've been missing. And the link to that video is in the show notes. Go take a look at it and get ready because I have more videos rolling out that will support you in every stage of your podcasting journey. And also definitely want you to subscribe to my podcasting channel on YouTube. So while you're there, I want you to go ahead and hit subscribe and watch a couple of videos and hit the like button. I don't want you to miss anything new. Thank you for spending this time with me today. And I'll be back in a couple of days with more grounded, soulful support to help you build a podcast that aligns with your life and not competes with it. Talk to you soon. Happy podcasting.